Hello students, welcome to Sri Vardhaman Vidyalaya online education. Here we will start the second chapter. Chemistry part is matter around us pure. So we have studied physical properties like color, taste, smell, density, fluidity, melting point, boiling point of the matter in the chapter first. So in this chapter we will study chemical nature of matter. To understand the chemical nature of matter, we have to understand the chemical nature of the substance. Substance. Substance is a kind of matter which is single and pure form and cannot be separated into other kind of matter by any physical process. Most of the naturally occurring materials which we come across are mixture of substance. Example, air is a mixture of gas like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, vapor, etc. It is necessary to find out that the given substance is pure or not. So pure substance. You must have observed on the packet of milk, ghee, honey written as in a pure milk, pure ghee, pure honey. So look at this diagram. Here it is written as an iodized salt, pure ghee, pure milk. So the meaning of an pure here, it is not an adulterated, but the milk is a mixture of lactose, fat, protein, water, etc. In science, the pure substance means it is in a single substance, that is, the composition is uniform throughout. Example, sugar, water, sodium chloride. They have always the same properties like taste, texture, smell, color, etc. If you taste the sugar, it will be in a sweet. So its compositions will not be changed. So that is we are calling as a pure substance. That is, it is a pure substance means it is having a single substance. That is, its composition is uniform. Same thing, it is in a water. Sodium chloride, it is in a salty. The substance which always have a same color, taste, texture at a given temperature and pressure are a pure substance. Example, magnesium oxide, calcium sulfate. Characteristic of substance. It contains a pure matter. Its composition is same throughout even at the atomic and molecular level. Whatever may be the sources of the substance be, it will always have the same characteristic property as that of the substance. It will contain same type of atoms or molecules, either of an elements or a compound. For this, if it is we are taking an example of a water, so water will have a hydrogen atom and oxygen. So they will be contain the same atoms. Okay, so they will not be different atoms to form a water molecules. Next, the testing the purity of a substance. The purity of solid is tested by its fixed melting point, where the purities of liquid is tested by its fixed boiling point. The pure substance has a fixed melting point or boiling point at a constant pressure. For example, pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin at 1 atmospheric pressure. Pure sodium chloride, it will melt at 1073 Kelvin at normal atmospheric pressure. If we have an impure water, example seawater, which contain the salt, it will be boils at a higher temperature than 373 Kelvin because the impurity increase the boiling point. So in a liquid, what will happens means if it is in a liquid having an impurities, so what happens, that is its boiling point will be increased due to an impurities. If it is in a solid, then what happens is melting point will be lower than its normal point. If we have an impure sodium chloride, it will be melt at a lower temperature than its normal melting point, that is 1073 Kelvin. It shows that the impurities decrease the melting point of solid. So if it is in a liquid and it will have an impurities, what happens? The impurity increase the boiling point. If it is in a solid and if it is having an impurities, what happens? It will decrease the melting point of the solid. Mixture. Most of the materials around us mixture. A mixtures contain more than one substance, elements or compounds which are mixed in any ratios or proportion. See this example. What is this? You know well. That is, it is nothing but that in Gujarati we are calling this a chavanu. Chavanu having so many materials mixed with each other. So that is we are calling as a mixture. So in chemistry, mixture is nothing but it will be made up of more than one substance. Characteristic of mixture. Mixture is not a pure substance and formed by mixing two or more substances physically. They can be homogeneous or heterogeneous in nature. That is, constitute can be seen to have a visible boundary or they may appear to mix thoroughly. Now, what is homogeneous and heterogeneous we will study in this chapter later. Heterogeneous means it will be having mixed it will be mixed completely. That is, for example, we are calling this water plus salt, water plus sugar. What happens? It will having only in a single solution. Heterogeneous, for example, in heterogeneous it is nothing but water plus sand. What happens? There will be visible boundaries. You can see in a two layer. So that we are calling as heterogeneous, and the example for an homogeneous. The properties of a mixtures are the same as that of its constituents. The constitution can be separated by the physical method. Their formations does not require or release energy as there is no bond formations or breakage involved. So during the formations, there will be no releasing of an energy, or there will be no bond formations, or there will be no bond breaking will be happens during the mixtures. The properties of a mixtures like melting point and boiling point are not fixed. Type of the mixtures. So depending upon the nature of the component that form a mixtures, we have a different types of mixtures. So we will see with an activity 2.1. Let us divide the class into group A, B, C and D. So the group A takes a beaker containing 50 ml of water and one spatula full of copper sulfate powder. And group B takes 50 ml of water and 2 spatula full of copper sulfate powder in the beaker. Group C and D can take a different amount of copper sulfate and potassium permanganate or a common salt and mix the given component to form a mixtures. So report the observations on uniformity in a color and textures. Group A and B have obtained a mixtures which has a uniform compositions throughout. This means that is in a group A and group B, what happens? The copper sulfate will be dissolved in the water. So what its compositions will be uniform. So such mixtures are called as a homogeneous mixtures or solution. Some other example of such a mixtures are salt in water, sugar in water. So they are the example of a homogeneous mixtures. Compare the color of the solution of two groups. Though both the group have an obtained copper sulfate solution, but the intensity of a color of the solution is different. This shows the homogeneous mixtures can have a variable composition. So here, if you see the group A, it will added only one spatula full of copper sulfate. So the color of a copper sulfate is in a blue color. So in a group A, the color of the solution is will be in a blue, but in a group B they added in a two spatula. So what happens? There will be the color different. In this one, the color is very less group A than the group B. The group B have a dark color of a copper sulfate. So this is the meaning that the intensity of the color of the solution is different, and this shows the homogeneous mixtures have a variable composition. Group C and D have obtained the mixtures which contain the physically distinct parts and have a non-uniform composition. Such mixtures are called as heterogeneous mixtures. So the mixtures of sodium chloride and iron filling, salt and sulfur, oil and water are the example of heterogeneous mixtures. So they will not have a uniform compositions. So that part is we are calling as that mixtures we are calling as heterogeneous mixtures. So from this activity we can find out which solutions are in a homogeneous and which solutions are in a heterogeneous. Next, the second activity 2.2. Let us again divide the class into four groups A, B, C, and D. A few crystals of copper sulfate to the group A and one spatula full of copper sulfate to the group B, and chalk powder and wheat flour to the group C, and a few drops of milk or an ink to the group D. Each group should add the given sample in the water and stir properly using a glass rod. Are the particles in the mixtures visible? Direct a beam of light from a torch through the beaker containing the mixtures and observe from the front. Was the path of a beam of the light visible? Leave the mixtures undisturbed for a few minutes and set up the filtration apparatus in the meantime. Is the mixture stable and do the particles be settled after some time? So in this one, filter the mixtures if there is any residues on the filter paper. Discuss the result and form an opinion. Now, in a group A, what happens? The copper sulfate will be dissolved. Group B also the copper sulfate will be dissolved. So group A and group B have gotten a solution. That it is a solution. That solution we are calling as a homogeneous. Next, group C, the chalk powder and wheat flour. You know that when you add wheat flour in the water, what happens? It is just like some powder like that is, and it will not be dissolved, but it will not also settle down. So it will just like curd form. So that we are calling as what suspension solution. Okay, so the group C has gotten a suspension and group D has gotten a collided solution. So that is a milk in water and ink in the water. So that we are calling as a collider solution. Now how we can filter the paper? So this is a filter paper and fold the filter paper in the two parts. So this is the next step. Again what happens, you have to fold like this and three part of the paper and one. So it will form a cone, and that cone shape of the filter paper, it must be placed in a funnel. So this is a funnel and you have to place in a glass rod, and using in a glass rod what you have to decant the water here. So residue means any leftover. If it is in a water, if it is on a sand dissolved in the water, what happens? That is on a sand particles will be remained in a filter paper. So that we are calling as an what residues. And that after the solutions filtered, that we are calling as a filtered solution. What is solution? The solution is a homogeneous mixtures of two or more substances. You have come across the various types of the solutions in our daily life. Lemon, soda water, etc. are the example of solutions. Here you can see this is a soda water, this is a lemon juice. So these are the we are calling as a what solution. Usually we think a solution as a liquid that contain either a solid, liquid or gas dissolved in it. But we can also have a solid solution, that is alloys, gas solution, that is air. In a solution there is a homogeneity at the particle level. For example, lemon taste the same throughout. This shows the particles of the sugar or salt are evenly distributed in the solutions. So if you take the lemon, what happens? The taste of lemon juice, it will be in a same throughout that one, and it will be evenly distributed in the solution. So this is a homogeneous mixtures. It is mixtures have an uniform appearance and compositions throughout. Alloys. Alloys are in a homogeneous mixtures of metals and cannot be separated in their component by the physical method. But still, an alloy is considered as an mixture, but it shows the properties of its constituents and have a variable composition. For example, brass. Brass is a mixture of approximately 30% of zinc and 70% of copper. So this is a brass, that is we are calling as an alloys. Alloys is a mixture, homogeneous of metal, and it cannot be separated into compositions by physical method. So this is an example of an alloys. Next, this is an brass. This is an coin. You can see that one. In this, there is an brass is a mixture of an 3-1. That is an copper is 61.5 percentage and zinc is an 35.4 percentage, and there is an PB, that is we are calling as an lead, that is 3.1 percentage. So these are the examples of an alloys. So alloy is also an homogeneous mixtures. The solution has a solvent and a solute as its component. So the component of solution that dissolve the other component in it. Usually the component present in the large amount is called as a solvent, and the component of the solution that is dissolved in the solvent, that is usually in a less quantity, is called as a solute. For example, if we are taking a solution of sugar in the water, so water is in a, so we are taking in a water in a large amount, so that we are calling as a what, solvent, and sugar we are taking in a very small amount, that is in lesser quantity, so that we are calling as a what, solute. So for example, a solution of a sugar in the water in a solid in liquid solution. In this solution, sugar is a solute and water is a solvent. And a solution of iodine in alcohol, known as a tincture of iodine, has an iodine, that is solid, as a solute, and alcohol liquid as a solvent. Acidic drink like soda water, etc. are the gas in liquid solution. These contain the carbon dioxide gas as a solute and water liquid as a solvent. So if you take a soda water, in soda water there is a water, what happens, they will be passed on the carbon dioxide. So that we are calling as a what, assisted drink. That is just like a Pepsi, Coca-Cola. So in this one, what happens? What will be present? There is a liquid and some flavor substance will be added, as well as that is on a carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide is act as a solute, and then a water that will be act as a solvent. Air is a mixture of gas in gas. Air is a homogeneous mixture of a number of gases. Its two main constituents are oxygen, that is 21 percentage, and nitrogen, that is 78 percentage. So other gases are present in a very small quantity. So this is a homogeneous mixture. So air, salt water, sugar water, brass, and solutions. So these are the homogeneous mixtures, or we can say as a homogeneous solutions. Hope you are all understood this one. Thank you. We will meet in the next part of this video.